Hello everyone. At 5:17 a.m., inside the U.S. Aircraft Carrier Command Center, the lights are dim, but the radar screens are glowing. Suddenly, 5 blips shift course in unison. They aren't on patrol anymore. 5 Iranian MiG-29s are burning straight toward the U.S. aircraft carrier, accelerating past 480 knots. What happens when the enemy decides to lock on to an American fleet 82 nautical miles out, closing every second? Don't take your eyes off the screen until the secret is revealed. Don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and share your thoughts in the comments section. Thank you for watching. 64 nautical miles. Electronic support measures detect the spike. Iranian N-19 radar signals begin sweeping. Their fire control radars have gone active. Not a hard lock yet, but searching. Alert 5. Catapults fire. Steam erupts violently across the flight deck. The first FA-18E Super Hornet launches clean, its afterburners burning bright against the pale morning sky. A second fighter follows just seconds later. Both pilots climbed aggressively to Angels 25, noses pointed directly toward the inbound enemy formation. Down at sea level, the strike group subtly adjusts its geometry. The escort cruiser slides 2 degrees to port, while a destroyer increases speed to tighten the screen spacing. Aboard the carrier, CIWS mounts rotate fractionally into standby alignment, their motors humming as they signal lethal readiness. No one runs. No one wastes motion. No one panics. On the escorting destroyers, Aegis systems shift from passive track to engagement quality solutions. The vertical launch cells remain sealed, but every weapon is loaded, cold, and ready. On the radar scope, the target geometry converges. The Iranian formation shifts its offensive spread. 2 aircraft ease left, 2 move right, and 1 remains high on the center line. A wedge, rapidly becoming a pincer. They are still coming. We hope you're keeping a positive spirit today. Are you okay? Comment yes or no so we can send encouragement. 2.1 nautical miles. The geometry collapses. The center MiG rolls inverted. The maneuver is smooth, deliberate. Then it dives nose down, fast. Its flight path aligns directly with the carrier's forward deck. Inside the Super Hornet cockpit, the radar warning receiver flashes red. A hard lock tone. This is not a search, not an intermittent sweep. It is a full, fire control quality lock. Time from lock to potential missile launch at this exact range is under 4 seconds. The American pilot shifts his left thumb near the weapon select, but he does not fire. He holds, the lock sustains for 1 long second. Then 2. The Combat Direction Center falls dead silent, except for the piercing tone relayed over the tactical net. The rule is absolute. If sustained for 3 seconds, they escalate. The 3rd second never comes. The lock drops. The diving MiG levels out at exactly 1,000 feet above the waterline, skimming hard across the carrier's bow at blistering speed. Shock waves ripple violently across the ocean's surface. Down on the flight deck, sailors feel the heavy vibration deep in their chests before they can even process the blur overhead. Loose tie-down chains rattle loudly against the steel. The fulcrum roars past, climbing sharply into the morning haze. No missiles leave the rails, no gunfire. There is only the deafening roar of proximity and the crushing pressure of a war that was merely heartbeats away from detonating. The alarms finally cut out. The klaxon's blaring fades away, leaving the aircraft carrier's command center completely submerged in a heavy, suffocating silence. 12 minutes and 41 seconds of absolute heart-pounding tension have just ended. Yet, there is no cheering among the sailors on the flight deck. There is no applause in the command room. No victory announcements echo over the intercom. They know the truth. In this escalating conflict, there are no true victors. Hundreds of miles away, the cost of this standoff is already being felt. A U. Air Force KC-135 refueling aircraft has just fallen from the sky, crashing into the western desert of Iraq. 4 American crew members were reported lost in the incident. 4 lives changed in an instant. Across the border, the reality of the battlefield is even darker. Devastating military airstrikes have rained down on an Iranian elementary school, leaving behind a tragic toll among innocent civilians. The consequences of war spread across the sand, the streets, and the classrooms. In the heat of a tactical intercept, it is easy to get lost in the adrenaline. But war is not a movie, and it is certainly not a video game. It is not just the geometry of fighter jets or flashing green radar spikes on a glowing screen. It is human suffering. It is raw, unfiltered destruction. It is a permanent, irreversible loss. The strike group may have survived this morning, but the tragedy of the war remains. The battle is far from over. This terrifying pursuit over the ocean is merely the surface of a geopolitical chessboard rapidly spiraling out of American control. Iran's new supreme leader, Mojtaba Khamenei, has just vowed to maintain military resistance and weaponize the Strait of Hormuz to choke global energy markets. Nations are holding their breath. Modern warfare spares absolutely no one. With crude oil prices surging past $100 a barrel, a prolonged blockade of this critical choke point threatens to paralyze the international economy. Beyond the flashing radar spikes and tactical intercepts, a darker reality unfolds as global superpowers are dragged deeper into this escalating military vortex. The worst is yet to come. The danger remains hidden in plain sight. Every passing hour increases the devastating risk of a massive miscalculation that could instantly draw allied nations into an unstoppable global conflict. What began as a localized standoff between fighter jets has now transformed into a terrifying scenario, forcing every continent to brace for the fallout. We are on the brink. The tactical envelope is rapidly expanding. Advanced AI drone swarms and strategic bombers are already striking targets, signaling a brutal shift from isolated skirmishes to automated, high-tech destruction. Washington is pouring billions into this unprecedented campaign, while adversaries quietly leverage the resulting chaos to rewrite the rules of international power. Global stability is actively shattering. The economic shockwaves are already hitting. Disruptions across the Persian Gulf have triggered massive panic, forcing consuming nations to desperately tap into emergency reserves just to keep running. A single stray missile or misinterpreted radar lock in these contested waters could instantly sever the crucial arteries of modern international trade. The clock is ticking down. This is no longer a localized tactical standoff. It has violently mutated into a suffocating, inescapable vortex of next-generation warfare. The sheer scale of this conflict is entirely unprecedented, driven by the ruthless precision of artificial intelligence and advanced military technology. From high above the clouds, U.S. Air Force B-1 and B-52 strategic bombers are unleashing relentless, devastating fire onto the battlefield. Simultaneously, the Israeli military has deployed lethal AI-integrated drone swarms specifically programmed to relentlessly hunt and eliminate Iranian security forces with terrifying, calculated efficiency. The threat, however, flows rapidly in both directions. Western powers watch in profound dread as Iran's own evasive, cheap, and deadly drone tactics, bolstered by foreign strategic backing, completely rewrite the rules of modern asymmetric combat. We are witnessing the brutal, automated future of war unfolding in real time. The sheer volume of these continuous, simultaneous attacks is triggering a massive, unprecedented global shockwave. International energy markets are fracturing under the immense pressure, with crude oil violently surging past the terrifying threshold of $100 a barrel. The critical maritime choke points of international trade are practically paralyzed. In this hyper-accelerated battle space, human reaction times are entirely obsolete. The skies are saturated with autonomous weapons, smart munitions, and highly advanced electronic warfare arrays. The margin for error has been permanently erased. A single, momentary glitch on a radar screen, one misinterpreted algorithmic target lock, or a fractional miscalculation by an artificial intelligence system wouldn't just cost thousands of lives in the Persian Gulf, it could instantly paralyze the entire global economy. Nations are being violently dragged into a mechanized meat grinder where technology dictates survival and humanity is left completely at the mercy of the machines. Back inside the dim cockpit over a volatile, burning ocean, the heavy reality sets in. The absolute boundary between a tactical show of force and total destruction is razor thin, a margin measured only in a few racing heartbeats. This time, the 5 Iranian MiG-29s broke formation and turned away. This time, the American aircraft carrier held steady at exactly 21 knots, never flinching, never once altering its course. Professional restraint prevailed. But as global tensions continued to boil, a haunting uncertainty remains. The next time those glowing radar tracks simultaneously shift direction toward the fleet, will this fragile silence hold? For now, the massive carrier simply continues forward, drifting relentlessly through a dark and churning sea. The following scenario is hypothetical and is intended to provide viewers with an objective perspective on modern warfare.